Good evening, Mr. West. It is an honor to have you on the Character Matters show today.
I am
For
so glad to be
starters,
here with you, Trinity.
yes, sir. For starters, could you please tell me about your journey in becoming an Illinois state representative and what exactly does that job look like for you?
All right, so I'll start with the journey getting here. I believe you're about 14. When I was 14, I was not thinking about politics. The idea of entering politics did not come until I was 27 years old. December 2nd, 2012, 2 o'clock in the morning, I heard the Lord say, run for alderman. That's why I'm in
Mm,
politics. Nothing more than that. And so I didn't know what an alderman was. I didn't know what a Democrat or Republican was. I knew Obama was a Democrat. Black folks equals Democrat, so I thought I was a Democrat. But thankfully, I had to run as an independent because I missed the deadline
mm,
to file for that seat. And so I ran as an independent. I had to get 100 signatures from people. It was nerve-wracking because this is my first time doing it. And no one knew I was doing it because I just found out that, I was just obeying what God told me to do. And before you knew it, realized I was running against Samson and Goliath. A gentleman named Doug Mark, who had the seat for 12 years, and Tom McNamara, this random guy who happens to have a dad who used to be a mayor. We were both running for city council at the time. First time for both of us. And would you have it, Tom and I became friends during the campaign. We kept our mouths off each other. We ran a wholesome campaign, and he and I had weekly meetings and we got to know each other. And before you know it, we were friends. And so when he beat me handedly, I only got 7% of the vote. It was embarrassing. It hurt. I took it wrong. I didn't take it well, that loss. I remember the next day I was at a restaurant and people were like, "Oh, look, Tom McNamara won. Who was that random black guy who ran? He didn't even have many signs. Lame." Those words would be in my head forever. Not because of hurt by it anymore, because I was hurt then, but it'll be in my head forever because of my thanks to God that I'm not lame anymore. You know who I am now.
Mhm.
And so at the time though, they didn't know who I was, right? And so I ran for that seat, got beat badly, but I did not handle it as a loser. Tom and I kept on being friends. People asked me to be on boards. I accepted, learned how to advocate for my community even the more, especially the west and south side of Rockford. And then Rock Valley College had a trusteeship open, and 2 years later, so I said, I don't know. But two different people called me and asked me to run, and when two or three are gathered, or it was confirmation amongst that word, and so I ran, and everything looked like it was going well for me. I had the most signs, I did the most work, I was the cutest on the ballot, I was on top of the ballot, and I still lost. And this time I was numb. I didn't feel betrayed by God. I was numb, which is even more dangerous. Um, and so I told myself at that time I was done. No more politics. I'm 32 at the time. I'm done. I'm gonna wait till I'm 40. These people don't want me. No, I was 30 at the time when I lost. So I'm like, I'll wait 10 years. The Rockford's tripping. They don't want me. But then September of 2018, 17, for my predecessor, Dr. Leticia Wallace, the first black woman in our to be a state rep for our community. She decided to run for lieutenant governor, which opened up the current seat. Now my friend from back in the day, Tom, who I kept friends with, he's now the mayor, and he won handedly, and no one knew what was going on, who should run for this seat. Hey, let me pick my boy Maurice. Hey, and he saw me at Stockholm Inn. Was like, "You want to run for state rep?" And I'm like, "Sir, I am eating my French toast. Stop hovering." One, two, no. I'm waiting till I'm 40. He said, "Well, think about it." Man, then someone else randomly called. Hey, it's time. I'm gonna let you go, Maurice. It's time. It's time. And so I prayed over it, and it was over the weekend. I just tarried before the Lord. And then Sunday came, and this person from my church came to me and said, Maurice, Reese, I don't know what this means, but I don't know if you can see it on this end. I just wanted to let you know God told me to tell you effortless. And that's when I knew I was supposed to run. And so now, fast forward, the best thing that happened to me politically, and I'm just getting started. I'm only in my 6th year. But the best thing that happened to me so far politically was losing twice. The best. I would not take it for, I would, if God said, you want to redo this? Nah, I'm so glad I lost because I learned some things about myself. I learned some things about this arena. I know how to lose. I know how to win. How many people can say that? I know how to lose well. And so since I know how to lose, I know how to stay away from the pitfalls of losing. And so everything worked out. Everything, all things work together for those who, for good, for those who love God and are called. So that's my journey.
That is an amazing testimony. Actually, the verse you just quoted, that all things work together for the good of those who love God, was actually we actually just sang that yesterday in Freeport at the Speak It, Sing It. And so to me, that is just so amazing how God just keeps replaying that verse. I would just like to know, well, actually, I wanted to add on. I like what you said about um, losing, how it built your endurance.
Hmm.
A lot of people take losing as a negative thing, but it's amazing that you were able to realize that God allowed you to lose, to teach you and to build up your endurance, to build up your strength. So
Yep.
that is so inspiring to me. Um, Speaking of campaign, what are your thoughts on the upcoming election and where would you like to see our state in the next few years?
Mm. So my thoughts on the upcoming election, I'm really excited about Tamir. Um, if I'm honest, that's the election because of my time in Springfield. That's the election that I'm really focused on. Tamir has been with me for 5 years. He started as a photographer. Then we had found some part-time work, and now he's full-time my political director. And he happens to be 21. Um, and the one thing I love about Tamir is that he gets it at a young age, and I see this in you as well, Trinity. But I'm really excited about his candidacy, and I'm really looking forward to celebrating with him tomorrow.
Mhm. Mhm.
That is amazing. I
Mhm.
actually grew up with Mr. Bell at Washington Park Community Center, so we knew each other from a young age.
Yeah,
And I must say, it's I'm just really looking forward to see where our city and where our state is going to be in the next few years, especially under the leadership of Mr. Bell.
yeah. I forgot to expound on that. Forgive me. Especially when it comes to Tamir, he has a heart for the people. And
Mhm.
so, and I'm really excited about the fact that our city council, we see a lot of members who are there because of their advocacy for people,
Mhm.
rather than there for one particular interest or
Right.
they're only for business. No, we want to advocate for people, and so I'm really excited about the trajectory of Rockford. I feel it in the depths of my bones. I tell people that we're going to be the next Austin, Texas. And what I mean by that is Austin was not on the map when I was your age, Trinity. No one wanted to go to Austin, Texas. But then when I got, and I graduated from college and I was pursuing my master's degree around 21, 22, 23 era, right there, it was the number one city in the nation for people to go to. And before you know it, it blew up and it expanded and it's in it and the more and the makeup of the community just made diversified and just grew. And I feel like that's something that's going to happen to Rockford. We were phenomenal, a phenomenal manufacturing town, bussing from the seams with people. And then tr technology, time came about, but now aerospace and our interest in our and the field that we play in when it comes to our airport, we have an opportunity to remake our brand, and before you know it, more people are coming, more young people are coming. It makes it harder to leave Rockford because of how many opportunities there are. That's what I'm looking forward to seeing in Rockford.
Mhm. Mhm.
That's amazing. I like what you were saying about Austin, Texas, how it wasn't on the map when you were younger. And something that I can relate to that is I say this a lot, that a lot of people aren't proud to be from Rockford. And I'm definitely looking forward to seeing us be on the map, because even more and more, I'm able to see the goodness that comes out of Rockford.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm able to see people realizing the goodness that comes out of Rockford. We're not getting slept on anymore.
Nope, not
And so
anymore.
that is truly an amazing thing. Um, on that note, we need the correct leadership to allow Rockford to expand and to get on the map and to be recognized.
Mm-hmm.
And with leadership comes great character. And actually, on that note, Dr. Martin Luther King said it's the content of character that matters.
Mm-hmm.
What does that statement mean to you as someone who people look up to and as a leader?
It means it means a lot to me, if I'm honest. For my first reaction when you say content of character is what's the intent of my heart? Um,
Mm-hmm.
like why am I on here with you, Trinity? Um, you're not a voter. You can't vote for me, you know? But I know that I also play a role as a state rep of being a role model. And I
Mm-hmm.
have to always make sure I'm putting my best foot forward. I have too many black boys and black girls looking at me, looking up to me. I have too many elders, black elders, proud of me because basically, especially after I'm walking down the trail that they trailblazed. And so I can't just be reckless in this arena. And so I forgot what the question, oh, the content of my character. So yeah, we need more people in this arena who's selfless, who's not doing it for the spotlight, who's not doing it to get on the news.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I'm finding that if you do it for the right reasons, that will come. It's very rare that I walk into a room. Any room I walk into now, I need to prepare myself to speak. Because if I walk in, oh yeah, we want to hear from our state rep, you know, and I take it as an honor, not as a badge of pride. So every time I go up, I say, Lord, what do you help me to say what you need them to hear, not what they want to hear. Because politicians, they love to fuel that base. What we're seeing on the federal level. It's easy when you start seeing red hats everywhere. That's fueling the base. But be bold and tell the people what they need to hear, rather than what they may want to hear. Because I have a lot of colleagues, Trinity, who don't believe what they're putting out. They're sharing the stuff that we hear from the red hats, and they don't believe it. But it's their party line. They gotta, and their base loves it. So I gotta say it. That's not content of character for me. So we need people who would be bold to say, hey y'all, I know y'all want to take a right here, but we're gonna go left. I'm going left. It's the best way to go, or vice versa. Um, that's what content of character means to me.
Mm-hmm. That's
I
wonderful.
like what you were saying about selfless politicians and how you ask God how the people need to be ministered to, not what they want to hear, but what they need to hear and what God believes that they need to hear. And that also brings back to my mind that all things work together for the good of those who love God.
Yep.
So just you allowing yourself to be a willing vessel, you being a willing vessel of God to use you to speak to the people of what they need to hear, and to not just encourage us politically, but encourage us in our personal lives. And so that's the reason why I look up to you. That's the reason why I truly do believe that you have an extraordinary character. Actually, I can relate to you in some ways, but one way that stands out is music.
Mhm.
And I heard you for the saxophone at the second annual State of the Mind address, and it was phenomenal.
Thank you.
So, on that note, I would just like to know, what are some of your passions outside of politics?
Music.
Mm-hmm.
That's
When
my
did that?
number one passion.
Mhm.
Politics is not my passion. Politics is my calling right now. But if I had to choose between music or politics, and that would be the rest of my life, I would be submitting my resignation letter right now.
Mhm.
Music is my lifeline.
Yeah.
This is why I'm not in my office. This is by design. I want people to know, yeah, I'm a state rep, but this is me. Like this
Hmm.
Mhm.
music is my passion.
Mhm.
So last year I decided to do all of me, be all of me, because music has been taking a back seat because state repness takes a lot of time, you
Mhm.
know? Especially when I want to do this job right. I have a whole album, Mr. C. I have a whole album, 12 songs that
Yeah.
I was just about to start working on publicizing before I ran for this seat in 2017,
Mhm.
and they're still sitting.
Yeah.
And so I said, I gotta be all of me. I gotta find no one else's. Yeah, there's a way for me. And I was scared because I was scared people were gonna be like, you should be fixing this X, Y, and that. And rather than working on music, but I finally found a way to, make them both work.
Yeah.
And
Speaking,
so that's what's happening right now.
that's
And it's
wonderful.
happening on my 38th and 39th year of life,
Wonderful.
40. And I'm like,
Wonderful.
um, trying not to, I know I have no regrets. I'm not saying this should have happened years ago, but because it happened now, I have to capitalize on it, you know?
Yeah, that's right. That's right. It's a timing thing.
Hmm.
That's beautiful. And Trinity, I'm just going to slip in just for 2 seconds and say that he's
Yes,
been
sir.
good a long time.
Hmm.
I mean, he's been good since he was your age and younger. So for him to say he has 12 songs ready to go and all he has to do is produce them and get them ready, it made
Hmm.
me think of you because he is an example of an epitome of the Yes Club. He really is. And so he found a way, he followed God, and he messed around and found a way that as a state representative, he could still jam.
Hmm.
Yes.
And I think that's a big door, Trinity,
Oh, definitely.
for you.
The,
It's a big door for you and him.
yes, sir.
Don't worry
The
about me.
way,
I'm going to be around, but it's a big door for you and him. It is.
yes, sir.
Mm-hmm.
The way that I see it is, yes, you're into politics, even though that's not your passion, but God could be using this stage of politics to boost you up as a platform to allow your music to get out there. And that's just
Absolutely.
something that I
Absolutely.
admire about God's
Absolutely.
handiwork.
Yeah.
And as Mr. Cole
Absolutely.
said, yes, sir. As Mr. Cole said, we have in mutual the love and the passion of music.
Yeah.
And so I would just like to know what has been your experience with Dr. Carl Cole and the Yes Club?
My experience goes, so it's interesting that you asked that question because my experience is unique.
Mhm.
My godparents are Mrs. C's parents,
Mm-hmm.
Superintendent John Collins and Mother Collins,
Mm-hmm.
and so they've been in my life all my life.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the Yes Club, I've been part of the Yes Club even before there was a Yes Club.
Yeah. That's
Um, I talked to you about my music and how I compose my own music. I learned from Mr. C in the Yes Club. It wasn't even the Yes Club. Again, I'm I'm part of the family, and so I would just
yeah.
go kick it with Mr. C and Andrew,
Yeah.
and they'll teach me and they'll impart in me. They help me to. My first songs I wrote were with my saxophone back in
Mm-hmm.
2012. One song from my dad, one song
Mm-hmm.
from my mom. Mr. C and Andrew helped me with that.
Mm-hmm.
And since then, I've been able to build my own. I got an award-winning music album that wouldn't have happened if it wasn't for the Yes Club and Mr. C and
Wow.
Mrs. And so
Oh my
my
goodness.
music, everything we're talking about now with my music, the foundation is the Yes Club. The
Oh my
foundation,
goodness.
like, is Mr. C and Andrew and the Cole family. So,
Oh my goodness.
um, yeah, that's how inundated I am in the Yes
Wow.
Club. That's how deep it is for me.
Powerful. That's powerful.
That really is powerful. That really is powerful. Today is actually Dr. Carl Cole's mother's birthday, Mom Cole. And yesterday we were celebrating her in Freeport. And something that I can definitely say is that talent runs in this family.
I know, right?
Talent definitely runs in the family. But It's just honestly so amazing. And the thing that keeps replaying in my mind is how politics was never your passion, but you allowed God to
Yeah.
use you.
Yeah.
And you acknowledge that this is the season that you're in
Yeah.
right now,
That's it.
and that you're exactly where God wants you to be.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
Mm-hmm.
don't get me
And
wrong. I love this through and through too. I love
yes, yes,
Oh,
politics,
sure. Yeah.
but
It's
yeah,
hard.
it's in my heart, man. Yeah, but yeah, God is good.
Yeah, you're still
definitely.
led.
Yes.
Still
And
led.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
yes,
It doesn't
and
lead you.
that part.
exactly.
hmm
Yeah.
That's a
Exactly.
whole,
It's still
I have a whole
divine.
story on that, but
Yeah, it's
one
still
day we'll go over
divine
that.
though.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
God's been good.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Definitely. I just want to add on to that with you being in the place where he wants you to be. I just keep saying that we have so much in common.
Mm-hmm.
How I'm known for poetry, just like you're known for politics, but
hmm
that is not my number one choice.
Right.
It's never, well, yeah, it's never been my number one choice ever since I was a little girl. I'm still a little girl, but ever since I was younger, singing has always been my passion. Music
Mm-hmm.
has always been my passion. And just something that I think is so important in our community, and something that unfortunately they lack when it comes to just the people in general, is being led by God.
Yeah.
So that's something that I appreciate about you as you're in office, that not only are you allowing God to use you, but he is speaking to the people of the community. You're laying the foundation for them, and you're serving as an inspiration for them, which
Mm-hmm.
is one of the reasons why we wanted to highlight you on the Character Matters show.
Yes, yes.
So, wrapping up with this last question, where can you see the Character Matters show going as we continue to highlight people with extraordinary character?
hmm I can see Character Matters going to a podcast level.
Mm-hmm.
Mm,
Mm-hmm.
You updating your cameras, you got you a little backdrop and everything. Being able to talk and hear about the character of influential people, especially the character of getting to where they are at that moment. It'll be an inspiration not just for people your age, but it'll be an inspiration for the people who are pretty much my age trying to get to where some of these folks are.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it's being led by our young people. It's being led by you. And that's something that we don't see much nowadays. Our young people asking their elders, no matter how old, an elder for you is even though a 21-year-old, but asking their elders for, let me hear from you. We don't hear about that much nowadays, and so you have the opportunity to be substantial, not just entertaining, but you're adding substance um, to the character matters, so that people can learn something about for themselves, not just hear someone's history. So I think you can go far with this.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's
Thank
wonderful.
you. Thank you so very much. You're definitely, Mr. West, someone who I look up to, someone
Mm-hmm.
who I admire, and
Yeah.
someone who I think is a phenomenal leader, and someone who I think is going to take our community to another level.
Absolutely.
So thank you so very much for sharing your testimony. Thank you so very much for sharing that inspiration. And I just feel so nourished and so enriched every single time that I get to talk to you. So thank you so very
Yeah.
much for your
Yeah.
time.
Accomplished. No problem. Thank you so much for having me. Listen, it's an honor. I'm looking forward to watching you thrive. The things that you and I spoke about, I still mean it 100%. I
Yeah.
believe
Yeah.
I just need you to stay focused. We need you to stay focused, because your prominence is going to excel at a young age. And so understanding again that foundation now is imperative.
Yes. Yes.
So thank you.
Thank
Wonderful.
you so very much. You are just
Trinity,
amazing.